The iPhone 15 was just leaked. That's right, 9to5Mac released renders based on CAD models that they obtained by a reliable case manufacturer showing off this new iPhone 15 and some new features. So once again, these are leaks and rumors. It doesn't mean that these things are the real deal, but this also happened with the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, and it was pretty close to the real deal. So these are 3 things from these leaks and renders that really stood out to me about the iPhone 15 Pro. Number 1 is the updated design. We've been used to Apple's squared, flat edge design, and look, when it first came out with the iPhone 12, I loved it. But actually holding the iPhone in your hand, you'll notice it's uncomfortable. There's no getting around that. Well, the iPhone 15 Pro looks to be adding some subtle curves that should make the phone easier to hold. According to the renders, the edges are just slightly more curved, nothing crazy. It's still mostly the same flat edge design. It's not going back to the curved edges that the iPhone 11 had, but it is a welcome change because it should translate to better overall feeling in the hand. Even according to these leaks, the glass at the edges will be slightly curved as well, which just means just a better overall ergonomic feel with the iPhone 15 Pro. Now, speaking of the glass, the bezels on the display are noticeably thinner now, which is nice. Now, the display size looks to stay about the same though, at 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches for the Pro Max. But instead, it looks like the overall size of the phone is going down because of the smaller bezels, instead of giving us just a larger display by shrinking those bezels. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Would you rather have a larger display in the same size footprint because of the smaller bezels? Or would you rather have the same size display with a smaller phone? I guess overall these phones are just gonna be easier to handle, easier to use because of these design changes. Obviously, you're not gonna really see much of a change if you look at these renders. You're gonna see just really subtle changes when it comes to the design. And honestly, that's what I expected. I didn't expect Apple to do anything crazy here, and it looks like they're just refining the design and just making it better. But if you are looking for a drastic change when it comes to the iPhone 15 Pro, number 2 is really interesting. No more buttons. I know that sounds crazy, right? No more buttons on a smartphone, but Apple has been teasing this idea for a while now, and for some reason, these renders have the buttons missing. I don't know. It could be that this came from CAD files. It was just for a case manufacturer and the buttons were just not there when they received this CAD file. So these renders just have the buttons missing. And honestly, as I say that out loud, that sounds much more likely than actually removing the buttons. But many are thinking it might be because Apple has decided to remove those physical buttons and instead give us capacitive buttons with haptic feedback. And we've seen Apple do this before. They've removed the home button from previous iPhones and just gave us a capacitive home button. And that might be the case this year. You can see on the renders too that this looks to affect the mute switch. At least based on the renders that we got, it looks like the mute switch is also different as well, or at least it's missing. But as I look at this more and more, honestly, I just don't think this is actually going to happen. I mean, the picture just looks funny. It looks unfinished. Even if Apple was going to remove the physical buttons, they would have something there to replace it, right? Something there to let you know that there's going to be capacitive buttons that you can use on the iPhone. But the renders just look to have something missing there in the pictures. I don't think Apple would ship these phones with holes in them, at least based on these pictures, right? But I am interested to know, would you want capacitive buttons instead of physical home buttons on the iPhone? Let me know what you think with a comment down below, because I am interested in knowing what you think about it. And finally, number 3, probably something we all saw coming, USB-C instead of Lightning. Now, honestly, I'm just kind of tired of talking about USB-C on an iPhone. I think it should have happened a long time ago. I mean, Apple doesn't even sell an iPad with Lightning in it anymore. Well, they do. They have the one old iPad that they're still selling on their website, but all the iPads, all the new versions of the iPad have USB-C on them now. So why has it taken so long for the iPhone to just get USB-C? We're seeing that they're doing it with all their other products. USB-C is coming to the iPhone. At least I knew it was. and now we're finally getting it, and I'm kind of just tired of talking about it. Yes, based on these renders, it looks like the iPhone 15 is gonna get USB-C. So if you're hoping to be able to use all your lightning accessories, all your lightning cables still with your iPhone, you're not gonna be able to anymore, at least based on these leaks. Now I do expect Apple to kind of give us some different versions of USB-C. For example, I think that the iPhone 15 and the 15 Plus, if they continue with the Plus for the next generation, is gonna have USB-C 2.0, and the Pros are gonna have faster speeds with USB-C 3.2. I believe that Apple's gonna give the Pro phones that faster USB-C speeds just to say that, yeah, these Pro models have something that these regular models don't. Now, I don't think that these Pro models are gonna be getting Thunderbolt, because why would you connect your iPhone to a 4K external display? That just doesn't make sense. So we're just gonna get faster speeds with USB-C 3.2. At least that's what I believe. And really, those are the three things that stood out to me with these iPhone 15 leaks. Nothing too different, which is kind of what we're used to with smartphones these days, right? Just subtle changes, subtle improvements on an already good smartphone. Now the renders do show a slightly thicker phone as well, so maybe that means we're gonna get better battery life as well. I hope so, because the iPhone 14 models were kind of, I just wanted something better when it came to battery life. I wanted to see an improvement over the iPhone 13 models, and we didn't get that with the iPhone 14 models. But hopefully that comes with the next generation of iPhones. Also, the iPhone 15 camera bump, at least the Pro models, looks bigger as well, which is kind of, I guess, a bonus leak. But honestly, that happens with every generation of iPhone. That camera bump has been getting bigger and bigger with every new model. So really, what else is new? So it looks like the new iPhone is gonna have a slightly different design, bigger camera bump, which probably means improved camera, which is what we could expect, and USB-C. Oh, and possibly the buttons are missing as well, and you just get capacitive buttons. Hopefully Apple has something more in mind when it comes to the iPhone 15 models. It's gonna be a great phone. All the iPhones are great, but there's not gonna be anything too different about this next generation, at least in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Are you gonna be upgrading to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max? Let me know with a comment down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you wanna see more videos just like this one on tech news, reviews, and opinions, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.